This book tells a story about ourselves and the world, and about how we got to be where we are now. While much of it is about the structure of the human brain, the place where mind meets matter, ultimately it is an attempt to understand the structure of the world that the brain has in part created. Whatever the relationship between consciousness and the brain, unless the brain plays no role in bringing the world as we experience it into being, a position that must have few adherents, its structure has to be significant. It might even give us clues to understanding the structure of the world it mediates, the world we know. So, to ask a very simple question, why is the brain so clearly and profoundly divided? Why, for that matter, are the two cerebral hemispheres asymmetrical? Do they really differ in any important sense? If so, in what way? The subject of hemisphere differences has a poor track record, discouraging to those who wish to be sure that they are not going to make fools of themselves in the long run. Views on the matter have gone through a number of phases since it was first noticed in the mid-19th century that the hemispheres were not identical, and that there seemed to be a clear asymmetry of function related to language favoring the left hemisphere. At first it was believed that, apart from each hemisphere obviously having sensory and motor responsibility for and control of the opposite or contralateral side of the body, language was the defining difference, the main specific task of the left hemisphere. The right hemisphere was considered to be essentially silent. Then it was discovered that, after all, the right hemisphere appeared better equipped than the left hemisphere to handle visual imagery, and this was accepted as the particular contribution it made, its equivalent to language, words in the left hemisphere, pictures in the right. But that too proved unsatisfactory. Both hemispheres, it is now clear, can deal with either kind of material, words or images, in different ways. Subsequent attempts to decide which set of functions are segregated in which hemisphere have mainly been discarded, piece after piece of evidence suggesting that every identifiable human activity is actually served at some level by both hemispheres. There is apparently vast redundancy. Enthusiasm for finding the key to hemisphere differences has waned, and it is no longer respectable for a neuroscientist to hypothesize on the subject. This is hardly surprising, given the set of beliefs about the differences between the hemispheres which has passed into the popular consciousness.